Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond Nonsense here on the Nonsense Media Club YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. The name is Brian Chevra. It's been a hectic couple of days, and as of the recording today, we are merely a few days away from Sonic the Hedgehog 3, one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I am looking forward to see how the movie is. Hopefully, it's better than the last two, and I've loved the last two Sonic movies. We've been covering Sonic for a while here on the YouTube channel, even way back from the Beyond Stuff days. Managed to grab a couple of videos and make a playlist in case you want it to revisit some of the times that we discussed Sonic the Hedgehog. It made me quite emotional because some of them are from my early years on the YouTube thingy. Some of them are from my late friend Adrian Lopez, and I had a lot of fun talking about Sonic the Hedgehog with him. He was a big Sonic fan, and I was glad to have him with the crew as well, discussing Sonic. It's a very, very emotional week for me, uh, thinking about him all these days because the movie coming out soon. And yeah, I cannot wait. I really cannot wait. I'm very hyped. I'm gonna be shaving my head tomorrow so I can be ready for the Robotnik cosplay, which I'll be wearing in the movie theater. So you might be lucky to see me in a theater near you, dressed up as Ivo Robotnik. So we'll see. Anyways, I didn't have it on my lineup today, but I'm gonna talk briefly about the latest news on the Nintendo Switch 2. There's been some places that distribute like cases and protected things for like consoles and especially for the Nintendo Switch that have been showing up some brand new cases for the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2. Apparently, one of them actually have the model the Nintendo Switch 2 in one of their images. Maybe there was like a clause in the contracts with Nintendo, and maybe Nintendo was planning to reveal the console before the new year, before this year ended. But I think they changed plans, and maybe they did not reach out to these shops and these brands to like delay the announcements for products coming for the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know how all that thing works, but yeah, we've been seeing some models of the Nintendo Switch 2. I realistically knew that we were gonna have something that looks exactly like the first Nintendo Switch, but with different components, and that's what we've been seeing so far in these leaked images. But yeah, some people are a little disappointed that there's no big changes, but why change perfection? I love my Nintendo Switch and I love my journey with my Nintendo Switch. And I don't think there's much room to improve except like, uh, in the technicalities when it comes to like the performance of the Switch and all that. Maybe there's room to improve in that side of things, but when it comes to like the physical aspects of the darn thing, to me, it's a beyond perfect console. So I'm just gonna wait on Nintendo to announce this thing after the holidays because I believe they're gonna be announcing it on January. They don't want to tamper with the numbers that they might receive with the Nintendo Switch sales this Christmas. So we shall see. But yeah, it's not a massive change when it comes to design. It looks just like the old Switch, and I don't mind it at all. But let's go to the news that I do want to talk about today. Let's talk about the fact that there's early development for a Barbie 2 with Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach penning the script for Barbie 2, a potential script. It's not surprise to many people because this movie was wildly successful. So of course Warner Brothers want to explore the ideas for a sequel. But after the Joker 2, I think they should be a little bit careful with what they do. To me, the first Barbie was a phenomenon when it came out, and I adore Barbie. Actually, a couple of days ago, Dua Lipa released an album of her music with an orchestra. I think it was on the same place where they do the BBC proms thing, and I listened to the version of Dance the Night, which is a lovely song, and I dig it. I love the orchestra following with Dua Lipa, and it just brings me back to those Barbie days, and I just love that song. So I was a little surprised when I saw the news that they are actually going forward with a script for Barbie 2. Now, this doesn't mean that the movie's coming. It's in early stages of development, and we'll see if the script is good enough. If there's a story to be told, then why not go for it? But I like to tell Warner Brothers, be careful. Just because this movie made over $1 billion doesn't mean it's gonna be the same thing with the sequel. And we already saw that with Joker 2. And the movie is at the service of that one. The Joker sequel is at the service to the first Joker film. And they had everyone involved from the very first movie. So I'm sketchy about this thing. I don't think a Barbie sequel is needed as much as I love the first movie. But if there is a story to be told, if there is a good reason to revisit Barbie, and if the product winds up being good, I will not complain. But again, we'll see. We'll see for sure. And another thing that I wanted to discuss inside Warner Brothers in DC Studios, there's been a greenlit project for the Elseworlds brand with Clayface, and this is gonna be based on a script by Mike Flanagan, who is a well-known horror director, like up and coming horror directors. He's had plenty of horror movies and horror TV series that have been acclaimed. Since I do not know horror at all, I don't know. But to me, the way that they describe this project, this is like gonna be like a horror tragedy, which is going to be very skeptical that I'm gonna be in the movie theater to watch this darn thing. But it's Clayface. I like the character of Clayface and the Batman, especially on Harley Quinn. And he's a riot on that show. But it's interesting to see that this uh, this version of DC being led by James Gunn and Peter Safran. They're open to explore stories outside of a cinematic universe. They've done it with the Joker. They're doing it with the Batman, which I cannot wait for a sequel after the Penguin show. But this one seems to be promising. People really like Mike Flanagan's work. Again, I'm not familiar with his work because again, I'm not a horror guy. I'm a big chicken when it comes to horror films. But this one, I might give a chance. But then again, we'll see. It's also in early stages of production. They just greenlit the thing, so it's gonna be plenty of time before we see this come to fruition. It's gonna be a very low budgeted movie, apparently so. And I think that's a smart move. That's a very very smart move. If you can make a movie for an adequate budget, you should go for it. So yeah, we'll see how this thing goes and moves along. Hopefully, better than the Star Wars world. Another thing that was revealed this week is the fact that Malcolm in the Middle is coming back for a 4-part miniseries on Disney Plus. I haven't seen this show, but I'm familiar with clips that I've seen on TikTok and on Reels, and I've always thought it was hilarious. I mean, Bryan Cranston can do no wrong. Most of the scenes that I've seen involves him. He is very funny. So I really want to revisit this show, so I'm able to be ready to watch the upcoming miniseries. Most of the original cast is coming back, and I cannot wait to see what they do. I'm very skeptical when it comes to revisiting old series, but if I believe this thing has been in the works for years, and I don't think Bryan Cranston will sign up for something that will like tarnish the legacy of the first of the first series. So Hopefully, it turns out well for all everyone involved. It's gonna be on Disney Plus, 4-part miniseries. Probably it's gonna be like a limited series. They're not gonna be making like a season 2 or 3 of this show of this revival. Again, Bryan Cranston is a very busy guy, so we shall see what happens on that one. And talking about Disney Plus, there's no news involving this thing that I'm going to discuss, but I'm going to discuss it anyways. There's been chatter on the internet when it comes to the future of Doctor Who on Disney Plus. People believe it's already a a done deal that Disney Plus is pulling the plug on Doctor Who. Now, while that is not official, some shows do get greenlit before a season 2 or 3. This show was ordered for the specials and the 2 seasons. Season 1, which already aired, and season 2, and I believe the spin-off is also included in that deal. After season 2 and the spin-off series airs, Disney is going to decide the fate of the show. The show's not gonna get canceled, but in my opinion, it's definitely leaving Disney Plus. I mean, I I'm a big Doctor Who fan, one of the biggest Doctor Who fans. I love every single incarnation of the Doctor because each and every actor who has portrayed the Doctor throughout the past 60 years have brought something good to the role. None of them have done wrong to this character. And I'm gonna follow it till I regenerate myself. But I have to be realistic. The return of Russell T Davis, who show ran the show from the first seasons in the revival series, have been quite honestly underwhelming and quite frankly a little disappointing. I enjoyed some of the episodes of season 1 because again, Shutigat was season is being labeled as season 1, like a brand new beginning of the show. And I believe so. People can jump in after the Church and Ruby wrote it. But it has been a little underwhelming. I've seen better episodes than the last season of Doctor Who. And I believe the marketing of the show hasn't also done it any favors either. I don't think there's a good strategy to sell this show to new fans on Disney Plus's side and on BBC's side. You, yes, sure, maybe there's something to do with the whole catalog of Doctor Who not being on Disney Plus. There, that might be a factor. But again, there's so much wrong with what's going on with the show right now, marketing wise, and I believe production wise too. I believe uh, the break these breaks, almost year long breaks between seasons is not doing the show any favors. And I do believe Disney Plus is pulling the plug on this one. I believe it's a mistake. I believe you could give it like 2 or 3 more seasons to see if the audience find its footing eventually, maybe with a brand new Doctor. And I'm not saying that because I don't like Ncuti Gatwa. I absolutely adore him as the Doctor. He has been fantastic. But certainly, maybe as much as I dislike saying this, I do not think Russell T Davis should stay on as the showrunner of Doctor Who. Now, I wouldn't be against Stephen Moffat coming back, and but I wouldn't be against the idea of bringing a brand new voice to showrun this show because I do believe this show sorely needs a brand new voice. We tried it, of course, with Chris Gibnall, and people have their complaints about it. I much rather see someone reinventing the wheel rather than being being as underwhelming as Russell T Davis has been so far. I'm still gonna stick around for the show because I love Doctor Who, and as I've said, I'm gonna stay watching this show until I regenerate myself. But again, I will not blame Disney Plus if they do pull the plug. They could have done a better job, anyways. But this is not the end of Doctor Who. This is one of BBC's most profitable franchises. It's definitely going to find a new home, but we'll have to wait and see. And last but not least, Astrobot won Game of the Year this year. I'm so happy for the little Astrobot. I'm on record saying that the Game Awards are bullshit. They and I believe they're bullshit because they let the fans vote on it. And I believe if you truly want your award ceremony to be legitimate, just keep it inside the industry. Developers, voice actors, producers inside the video game industry, and do not maybe one category or two, but don't involve the fans on it. And that's not that I'm not against fan thingies and all that. I just believe just like the Oscars or like Screen Actors Guild Awards and things like that. I think when it comes to things like industry based, like the music awards or film awards or TV awards, it should be on the hands of the peers inside that industry to decide what is the better product or to celebrate the better product. That being said, I'm just glad Elden Ring didn't win again because nominating a DLC is just bullshit, and they changed the rules only to fit that thing in. And like I've said, I was going to explode if Elden Ring won, but I would have been happy if any other game outside of Elden Ring would have won this award. My bias was rooting for Metaphor Fantasio, but it did win a few awards. It was celebrated, so congratulations to Metaphor Fantasio and Atlas because they have crafted a wonderful game. I didn't see the awards, so I don't know. I do not. I can. I have no comments as to how the show ran. The guys saw it, but they couldn't be. They weren't available for this podcast. But I believe this is a worthy winner, Astrobot, a game that celebrates 30 years of PlayStation. I saw many videos of many characters of little Astrobot robots dressed up as the many characters from the PlayStation history. I saw characters like Jack and Daxter, Nathan Drake, Sly Cooper, Crash Bandicoot, and many, many more who made an appearance in this game because this is truly a celebration of the history of PlayStation. And for people who I played only like the game that is included in the PlayStation 5, and it's fun, difficult and fun. I haven't gotten the chance to play this new game, but people were raving about the game once it was out to the public. And I'm very happy that a platform like this one because to me, and this is just my opinion, this is what video games are all about. Just go on an adventure and have fun. Forget about the outside problems that the world is facing. Just distract yourself and just enjoy the colorful, whimsical world, like in that what Astrobot gives you the chance to do. I'm over the first person shooters. I'm over the over realistic interactive movies. I like to call them like The Last of Us and things like that. Those to me are not games. Those are interactive films. I'm over horror films, horror video games as well. It's the video game market is saturated with those things. First person shooters, horror games, taking like a somehow innocent character and make a horror out of them. I'm over that bullshit. That is why I'm a bigger Nintendo guy than anything else. That's why my PlayStation has been gaining dust because in the in the current gen of video game consoles, all they offer is the same crap. And Nintendo makes the effort of doing actual games that are meant to be fun, that are meant to be challenging, that are meant to be enjoyed by everyone universally. But that's just my little conservative side of myself. I believe Nintendo has been doing a great job with their first party games and all that. That's why I'm more of a Nintendo guy than anything else. And when it comes to platformers like this and Sly Cooper, this this Astrobot winning Game of the Year is a win for games like Mario, games like Donkey Kong, games like Sly Cooper, games like Jak and Daxter, games like Ratchet and Clank. Platformers are the way to go. And it seems to me that the PlayStations of the world and the Xbox of the world have lost that way, and they only crave soulless games like Elden Ring, oh, broody and dark and hyper realistic. That's not what a game is. You may like them, and hooray if you do. But to me, that's not what gaming is about. Gaming is about having fun, and hopefully, the win of Astrobot gives us the chance to revisit or see brand new characters or revisit some like Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter. People want a new Jak and Daxter game. I want a new Sly Cooper game. I know it's not gonna happen because fuck you, Sucker Punch, but I want a Sly Cooper game. Overall, very happy that Astrobot won, and hopefully more games like Astrobot pave the way for new generations, and hopefully even better platformers come out in the next few years, and hopefully those games win over anything else the industry has to offer. Let's just wrap it up now. Enough about what I read about current video games. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Do you agree with any of the points I make? I really doubt people will agree with me on the last one. But I just don't give a damn. But I would like to see what you guys think. Anyways, guys, I'll be seeing you guys very soon.